everybody, my name is Chinga90 and welcome back to another episode. Today is going to be another update video for you all because as it stands, I've had a break for about 3 weeks now. Sorry about that. But the problem came with the fact that my weekends were kind of busy. Because the way I record my videos and everything is I record on the weekends because that's the time I have most available to record and I have enough energy to record. Because being an adult is hard. I don't want to adult anymore. Adulting sucks. Can we stop? I don't want to be an adult. I don't want to do it. Anyway, so I've been gone for about 3 weeks, and my last video I kind of explained why I was going to be gone, and I'm going to kind of explain again why I was gone, because I'll go into more detail as far as what happened, because since those weekends have now passed, I can actually talk about them. So the first weekend I was gone, I was missing in action because I recently had gotten a PS4 and a new TV. And the reason why this is important is because I was able to play the new Ratchet & Clank game, which does not sound like a life-altering experience, but to me it kind of was, because I fell into this fandom pretty hard. If you want to ask anyone, go contact Steammoto. She knows everything that's going on right now. I basically have texted her nonstop about everything that's new and updated that I find out about this fandom. I'm like, dude, they're doing this thing, and she's like, I don't give a flying crap, but yay, I'm so happy for you. I don't care. Thank God she's my friend, or else I'm pretty sure she would have abandoned me long time ago. I've been that obsessed with this. So what happened was basically Cry Like Monkey, which I'll leave a link in the description below. I hadn't watched any of his videos for a while, and I saw that he had put up his first video of the new Ratchet & Clank game. Now, the reason why this is kind of significant is because when I was younger, I had never heard of these two growing up. In high school, it was either Jak and Daxter, which I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce it, or it was Sly Cooper. That's the only cartoony PlayStation game, I'm sorry about that, PlayStation game that I had ever heard about. So Ratchet & Clank was completely new to me when this reboot came out. And since I hadn't watched Cry play anything in about a month, I was like, I'll give this a shot. I mean, it seems like a popular game. I mean, they made a reboot out of it, so I mean, it has to be good. I watched 5 minutes and I was instantly hooked. I fell in love with these characters, with the story, with everything. That same weekend, oddly enough, the movie came out. I saw that twice in theaters. Yes, I'm that obsessed with it. I also saw all the old versions of the games, all the cutscenes, everything. I read, there's a 6-issue comic series that they have. I bought them all and read them within an hour. I'm just that obsessed with what they were doing. I love it that much. So, I watched Cry play the game. I watched the movie. Ow, my desk. I watched the movie. I already knew it was going to happen, but I wanted to play this game so bad. So I was really happy when I was able to finally get my PS4 and my new TV and was able to finally play it. So that first weekend I was gone, I was just playing my video game, which I know is very selfish of me, but I already knew I was not going to be able to focus on what I was playing for you guys when in my living room there was a game that I've been waiting months and months and months to play, and I could finally play it now, and I had to play it. So I apologize for that, but for me, to calm myself down, I needed to play it. So please be understanding in the fact of I'm obsessed. I'm a fangirl. I'm an obsessed fangirl of new things. Welcome to my life. I get a little crazy with new and interesting things pop up into it. So there you go. The next weekend, which was the weekend of the 4th of July, my family, which is just me, my sister, and my mother, we went up to Chicago, not to celebrate the 4th of July. That's not our shtick. Ours is, we celebrated my sister's birthday, she was born the day before the 4th of July, so it's a little awkward. But we went up to Chicago to celebrate her birthday because that's what she wanted to do. And up there, we actually went and saw the Terracotta Warriors at the Field Museum in Chicago. It was phenomenal. If you don't know anything about this, in China, they had unearthed these rows upon rows of life-scaled warriors, ancient warriors made of terracotta, and there was just hundreds of thousands of these just lined up in a row, and they were set in front of the first emperor of China's grave. And so they just figured, oh, they're probably there to defend the emperor as he sleeps in eternal slumber, whatever you want to say. It was a pretty small exhibit at the museum, but it was really, really informative. If you have any interest in this at all, if this is a subject that you find absolutely fascinating, I would highly suggest trying to find a way to go see it. I would suggest that you go sometime early in the morning, because we got there around 10:30 and there was no one there, because the museum basically had just opened, and then by like noon, maybe a little beforehand, it was packed. That entire section area of the museum was just filled with people. So get there early if you can. But it was really informative, because apparently not only have they found warriors, they've actually found like an entire city. The city's closer to the emperor's tomb, but there's like workers and merchants and, you know, people of higher power, like politicals. I can't think words now. Politicians. There we go. I got it. God, that was... Politicians, advisors, people of really high standards were closer to the emperor's tomb. So it was interesting, because not only did he make something to defend himself while he basically slept forever and a day, he also made a city to go with it. He's kind of like, because I know people of high power had done this before, but they had done like miniatures of everyone to guard their tomb, and this guy was like, fuck it, go big or go home, and he went big. And then he went to sleep. I know I keep calling death sleep, but that's basically what it is. He just went to sleep and never woke up. I mean, whatever. It's okay, kids. Grandpa's just asleep. He's gonna sleep in the dirt now. This took a dark turn. This took a very dark turn. Anyway. So there's this entire city encasing this emperor's tomb. And it's absolutely fascinating, because this is the tomb of the very first emperor China ever had, and it boggles the mind, because you can see the emperor's tomb. It's like this pyramid shape in the distance, and apparently the first artifact discovered of this archaeological find was actually found by a farmer, because the dirt in the fields on top of these warriors was farm. There's all farming stuff, and then the guy went out and was like, what is this? And he called an expert, and this expert's like, oh my god, this is really, really old. So they started digging, and they found all these people. It's like, what the hell? Like, I can't even imagine being the guy who was like, I'm just gonna go tend to my fields. Here's a really weird piece, it's a calculator, whatever. Here's a interesting device that I found. What is it? And the expert comes along and says, oh, this is like thousands of years old. Where'd you find it? And they start digging, and they find just people lined up. I mean, I can't even imagine either being the person to find them or to work on a team to discover the rest. That's just amazing. Just the time and dedication that the people made to make these figures. It's just awesome. I mean, that's like hours of dedication. I think, if I remember correctly, I actually think it's just the chainmail that the people actually wore, like the warriors actually wore, was like, it took over 400 hours to make just the armor. I don't remember how long it took to actually like make the figures, but who cares? They're freaking awesome. Granted, the ones we saw in the museums were just replicas, but I don't care. They're freaking cool. They're amazing. So if you have a chance, go to the Chicago Field Museum. Go see this exhibit. I'm not sure how much longer it's going to be open. Hopefully it's there for quite a while. But try and go early. That's my only piece of advice I can give, is try and go early. Because it gets very crowded very quickly. So that's my piece of advice. But furthering on with the sister celebration that I had, not only did we go see the Terracotta Warriors, we also stayed on Michigan Avenue, which is this stretch of road that's just shopping and a few restaurants and shopping. And we just walked up and down that, which is interesting because we're not really a shopping family. And by that I mean, like, we don't think, I'm gonna go shopping for clothes, because that's not really what we do. It's not our biggest interest. Like, yeah, I'll go shopping for clothes, but I kind of have to be in the mood, and that mood normally comes around when my mother has to literally drag me to go shopping, and I'm kind of like, yeah, I guess I could get a shirt or two. Because as you can tell, whenever I'm in a video and you see me, I'm wearing basically t-shirts. I'm just a fashion icon. Please, follow my trend. It's called lazy, lazy, lazy person. I think it's catching on. It's quite chic. Chic. I said chic. I think I said chic. Did I say chic? Yeah, whatever. So, oh shit. So we went up, walking up and down Michigan Avenue, and I mean, it was fine. I did a few things of shopping. Like, there's a store called Italy. I'm gonna put up the spelling because it's funny as hell. I love good puns. I love a good pun. The name of the store is a pun. And basically what it is it's a 2-level shopping area, and it's treats and gadgets and like vendors of just Italy items. Like there's wine and cheese and chocolates and breads and all this stuff, and like they make the bread. There's a place where they make like mozzarella. The mozzarella is freaking awesome. It's so good. There's a gelato sandwich. If you've never had gelato, it's like a really creamy version of ice cream. They make it in Italy. It's like their biggest thing. Go, if you've never had it before, go try and find a place where you can have it. Go to Italy. I'm not even kidding. It's like the closest probably rendition of actual Italian gelato I've ever had, besides in Italy itself. The problem is that it's not as smooth as I remember, and I'm going to actually have to go back to Italy to taste authentic gelato, just so I don't feel like I'm going insane, that I'm actually remembering what gelato tastes like, because holy crap, it's freaking amazing. It's ice cream, but so much smoother, it's so much rich. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. But this store has, has a bakery, and you can watch like the people make the dough and fleeing across, and the other person like puts them in the little baking things. They put them in the baker oven, and boom, there's bread. It's freaking, it's awesome. It's absolutely amazing. And there's like pastas, and there's these spices and these canned fruits and canned goods. It's amazing. And there's a fish market, and there's a butcher's there. I mean, not an actual butcher's there, but like they have the meat there. I could go on about this store. It's absolutely amazing. We spent a few hours there, and actually we even ate there at the restaurant. They have the entire second floor is just an absolute restaurant. There is a specific place where you can like be sat down by a hostess and you order from a specific menu, but there's other places where you can just belly up to the bar and they still have, food for you to pick from. And we had, I don't fully remember what was on it, but it was like this pizza that had like grilled eggplant on it. It was so good. And we had the mozzarella balls. They had little mozzarella balls, and they had olive oil and salt on it. So it was so good. It was absolutely amazing. So we spent a lot of time in Italy, and that was fun. We also went to something called Dylan's Candy Bar. And if you've never heard of that, it's a giant store. At least the one in Chicago is a giant store of just, it's about 2 levels. It's not huge, but it's pretty massive. But it's just as the name implies, it's just nothing but candy. And you can go in, and they have like these round containers of just different variations of candy. Like there's one that's like dedicated to nothing but chocolate, and there's one that has like rock candy on one side, and there's one where it's a wall of just like sweet and sour stuff, and then up above it's like even more stuff of like, maybe you want some M&Ms and you want a specific color of M&Ms. They have a case of just M&Ms, and there's one where it's just a wall of a lot of random candies, but it's actually like put in color order, if you will. So it's like a rainbow wall of candy. It's absolutely amazing. But they have, actually I have an example here. I have my own. They have little containers. This is the one I bought, but they had different containers in which you can just like fill them up with candy. And they have prices of, if it's filled with candy, it's this much, or if you just want the container, it's this much. But I got this one, and it's like little compartments that you can just put different variations of candy in. They don't really touch. It's kind of sad because it's kind of a small box, so you can't really stack it high, and you really can't stack it wide. It's just kind of there to get a few things, and it's nice. There's a good amount of variety. The problem I had is as I was filling out my box, I kind of forgot there's other stands that had other versions of candy, and I completely forgot there was an entire section dedicated to rock candy, and I really, really like rock candy. So I had this all filled out, and I went around, and I'm like, oh yeah, there's other places to go. Oops. But that's good. I have like a lot of sweet and sour stuff, and I love sour candy. I absolutely adore sour candy. But they have different containers. Like I remember there's one that's like a cupcake or like a teddy bear, gummy bear, because I think they were colored. There's even one where it's just a simple box where you just dump all the candy you want inside. So they have different varieties of containers. So if you don't want to pay like I think like 2 of those, because I got also one for my sister, was like $46, which sounds like a lot, but considering the different variety of candy I got to pick, in fact I got 2 of those, is actually not bad. But there's some that were like $17 if you fill it up, or like $12 or something like that. I'm sure they have prices up on their website even. But it was just a stretch of candy. It was like every kid in there was just going absolutely bonkers. It's just like, oh my god, look at all this candy, look at this sugar high, and every parent was like, ah shit, look at all this candy, look at all this sugar high. Shit. They even had the workers who were there were always kind of like, do you want to try a sample? We can give you a piece of the candy, because they didn't want you to just like reach in and start eating, because 1, you're not paying for it, and 2, that's kind of a health hazard, so But they would like give you a piece of like, chocolate or something that's sugar-free or a sour piece of candy, and they give it to you, and you just to try it out, just in case to see if you really wanted it. It was so much. It was an overload of sugar. It was fantastic. That was a lot of fun. And then the last place we went to was the Disney store. Now, I know this doesn't sound like a big monumental thing, but the closest Disney store I live near is about an hour and a half away, and that's in St. Louis, in Missouri. So whenever I see a Disney store, I have to go in. I know it's geared a lot more towards kids, but I mean, I'm a kid at heart. I think I'm allowed to go in and enjoy myself. And I did actually buy a few things. I bought a t-shirt for me and Steammoto because we're actually going to Disney this year. This is a trip like 2 years in the making. We're finally going this year. I just got us each another t-shirt to take to the trip with us whenever we go down. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Oh, we're going to Disney. That's not the trip I'm talking about right now. Stopping. So, it was an enjoyable weekend with my sister and with my mom, just celebrating everything. We ate at a few different restaurants. We ate at this place that kind of looked like it was like an Irish pub, but it failed kind of in every aspect because the atmosphere wasn't right and the food wasn't that great. That's just my opinion. I didn't really enjoy it that much. For breakfast, we had like eggs, and I'm not a huge egg person, so when we went to this restaurant, I was kind of like, I'll give it a try. I mean, it can't be too bad. The problem that I have with eggs is that unless it's like covered with something like this, like cheese or peppers and onions or whatever, if it's just like a dry egg, I hate it. So I hate the texture, I hate the taste. It's like it has to be covered with something. And I got my dish was called the Michelangelo. And I read the description, and it's like, it's scrambled eggs with onions and red peppers, and then there's like sauce, like red sauce and mozzarella and some pepperoni. I'm like, oh, that sounds absolutely delicious. I'll take that. And I thought it was just all like tossed together. It was kind of close. The first layer is like the eggs, the onions, and the pepper, and then they covered it with the mozzarella and the pepperoni, so it looked like a little mini pizza where the crust was just the eggs, and I'm like, that's absolutely adorable. It was amazing. It was absolutely delicious. Where else did we eat? Trying to think. I think we just had those 2 restaurants. No, we ate somewhere else. What else did we eat? I swear to God we ate somewhere else, and I can't think of it right now. Cut to the next weekend. Boo boo. So this past weekend, I went to Anime Midwest, which was the 3rd convention I've ever been to in my entire life. And it was fucking awesome. The first one I ever went to, convention I ever went to, was in St. Louis, and that was okay. The person I went with had been to conventions before, but it just wasn't as, like, enjoyable and as in depth as it was. We only went one day, and it was kind of like, I mean, it was fun. I got some shopping done, but then that was kind of like, I'm new to this. I'm not really excited. The second one I went to was Indie PopCon, which if you really want to hear me rant about that, I actually had a video up the weekend after I came back. I'll leave a link here, down there, or something. But let's just say it was the biggest disappointment of my life. And hearing what happened this year at Indie PopCon, I'm so glad I have renounced to never go back. I've announced to never go back there again. I'm never going back to Indie PopCon. Even if somehow they were like, hey, you're really popular, which I don't think is going to be happening anytime soon. How about you come to Indie PopCon and, you know, sign some autographs? Be like, no, because you were so terrible at setting people up to go see someone and then crushing their hopes and dreams. I'm not the only one, and this isn't the only year apparently you've done it, so don't go to Indie PopCon. If there's someone big at Indie PopCon and you really want to see them, don't go there. I'm not even kidding. Do not go there. They don't plan well at all. But anyway, you can check out my rant about that in my video. But this past week, I went to Anime Midwest. I went with my friend Steamoto, who is an expert on conventions and going there and cosplaying. She's it was so much fun. She knows how to do a convention properly. And that's what I needed when I will go to a convention. I need someone who can actually do a convention properly. Like, she had the list of panels that we could go to. She knew who was going to be there. She knew, you know, vendors. She's like, there are not going to be a lot of vendors, but we can still look. She knew what was going to be happening. She had a friend who had a room that we were able to stay in. It was just amazing. I absolutely adored it. Zach Callison, the voice of Steven Universe, was there, and I actually got to meet him. I got to meet Steven. I was so happy. With the disappointment of Indie PopCon not being able to meet Markiplier, I actually got to meet someone and have an autograph and have a picture with him. I mean, look at this picture. Look at my doofy little face. I'm such a freaking dork, but I was so happy. I actually got to meet Zach, and he even did his Steven voice. It was so adorable. I can't stand it. It was so cute. And then, like, the next booth over, it was Steam Power Giraffe, which if you've never heard of them, they're a band / skit comedy group, and they're freaking awesome. Their whole shtick is that they're steampunk robots, and it's just absolutely amazing. They have, like, their own, like, little universe and company and everything. It's so cool. I mean, I got them to sign some stuff as well. It was so cool. I actually got to meet people. I actually got to meet famous people and have them sign things, and I actually got to talk with them, and that just blows my mind, because I have never been able to do that before. So it was almost a very humbling experience, except that I really want to be able to be the person behind the table instead of being the one getting the autographs. I want to meet people, and I want to meet people who I've made happy by what I'm doing. I want to be able to do that. So to see people who I absolutely admire, having them react to how happy I am was like, this is just the best thing ever. I'm so happy. So I got him to sign a few things. I'll show them in a minute, because I actually went on a shopping spree like no one's business. But there's a few other things I'm going to discuss first. So at this Anime Midwest convention, there was on Friday a panel of a YouTuber meetup, which was very interesting because it was actually a good to kind of a small gathering of people who have YouTube channels but aren't exactly what you would call YouTube famous. Like, they're not Markiplier, PewDiePie, or Jacksepticeye. We know all of them, but we're not, as big as them. And it was run by a YouTuber called Ghost Traveler, which if you haven't heard of her, I'll leave. Everyone I'm talking about right now is going to have a link in the description, I promise you. She is a cosplayer advisor / makeup tutorial artist. She is just the cutest little thing in the entire world. I actually got to talk with her before we left for that day on Friday, and she has like the bubbliest personality, which is freaking hilarious, because I'm pretty sure she was running on like no sleep and had no energy, but she talked like she was so animated. She was so happy. I love people like that. She's just so happy to talk to us, and she was like, I can't wait to go to sleep, but I'm so glad I was able to talk to all you people, because she's like, it's hard to be a YouTuber nowadays because YouTube doesn't really care about the people who are really small and don't have a lot of subscribers or followers because basically they can't make a profit off of us. We're kind of just peons that they kind of step over for the other major YouTubers to get the attention. Which I'm not blaming the main YouTubers. Like, I'm not saying, oh, I hate PewDiePie because he's famous, or I hate Markiplier because he's famous. Absolutely not. They're just doing what they want to do, and they're doing a job, and they joined this YouTube craze faster and sooner and did something better than what I'm doing to get all this attention and to get this popularity. It's not them at all. It's mainly the people who run YouTube, because basically if you're not big enough, you are not going to be seen. Which sucks, but at the same time, to me, it was kind of, this is going to sound really weird, it was nice to see a lot of other people who kind of are struggling on YouTube. Because there are some days where I've made a video and I'm really proud of it, and, there aren't any responses to it. And there are some days where I'm kind of like, why am I doing this? I know I said I was going to do this for fun, and I am having fun, but there are just some days where it's like, I don't get a response. So I'm kind of like, am I really that boring? Am I just not that entertaining? I don't know what else to do because no one talks to me, so I don't know how to fix anything. And there are a lot of days where I'm kind of like, I just don't want to do this anymore. It's not even my job, it's just a hobby. And I just feel bleh. I feel like bleh. I don't want to do it anymore. But I keep going because I do like what I'm doing. I like editing these videos. I like playing these games. Because when it comes down to it, if I had not started this YouTube channel, I probably wouldn't be as big of a gamer as I am. As weird as that sounds, because when it comes down to it, I would never have thought to play, Portal, Bioshock 2, Team Fortress, Don't Starve. I'm trying to think of other games I've played right now. Stanley Parable, The Last Door, which I really need to finish, and I'm so sorry. Actually, I think they're even done with the entire series, and I still haven't finished, the second chapter of Season 2. Sorry. I'm gonna get back to that, I promise, but that's not the focus right now. So the reason why I like this channel is because not only have I been able to play new games, but I've been able to kind of, challenge myself, because I've looked back at some of my old videos and I kind of cringe of oh god, why did I think that was funny to say, or why do I find that entertaining? Because when it comes down to it, when I first started this channel, it was not, I wasn't being me in essence, I was being what I thought was funny and popular, plus being nervous. Even though you couldn't see me in my very first episode, I was absolutely terrified. It's kind of like, I'm talking to nobody, and that's really weird. And if my neighbors hear me, they're going to think I'm actually absolutely psychotic. But now it's kind of like, I don't care if they hear me. I do. I don't want to disturb them. I don't want them to knock on my door and be like, you're being a little bit too loud. I'd be like, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But I mean, just talking to the camera, it takes a little getting used to, but it's not absolutely terrible. It's just, you gotta acquire how you're gonna talk and what your mannerisms are. And when I first started out, it wasn't about being me, it was about being what was popular, because I thought, well, if I do what everyone else is doing, maybe I'll get, more fans faster, and that's just not how it works. So this has definitely been a nice learning experience. Not only for editing videos, but also to learn, patience. Patience is a wonderful thing. I'm getting off track. What was I talking about? Oh, the YouTuber meetup. So it was done by Ghost Traveler. She has a lot of subscribers. She's actually she's my senpai in essence, because she has a lot of followers and she does a lot of interesting and amazing things, and I want to kind of almost be like her because she has a lot of subscribers. Granted, I'm not going to do makeup, because if you can't tell right now, I am not a makeup person. She's a little cutie. I'm kind of I let my hair air dry and I call it a day. That's the kind of person I am. Hey. But it was really nice to talk to her and to hear what she had to say. And I talked with some other, I guess, small-time YouTubers, and just listening to them and what they've done and what they've gone through, and they're, and just hearing the different options. The main thing I heard was there's someone who does movies or little shorts, there's someone who does music, and there's a lot of people who I'm going to talk about in a second who do art. And Ghost Traveler, she does makeup and cosplay, and I know there's different genres of YouTubing channels and videos that you can watch, but since I'm mainly in the gaming community, it's kind of interesting to think, oh yeah, there are other options than just playing a game that can be available. So it was kind of interesting to see and hear what everyone can do and what everyone does. So that was really enjoyable. It was fun. It was really nice to talk to people, and I've actually made a few connections with other YouTubers, which I'm going to be talking about in just a second. Don't you worry, it's coming up. Be excited. Boom. I'm such a dork. But this was a really fun, very entertaining convention. I fully intend on going back next year. I'm going to go again with Steamoto, and I might cosplay. I might try my hand to that. I wanted to try it this year, but I didn't have enough time or money. Which, ironically, I say that as I said I didn't have enough money, as I spent, I don't know how much at this convention on a lot of stuff that I probably didn't need, but I got anyway, and I'm staring at my wall thinking, God, where am I going to put all this stuff? But anyway, I do plan on going next year. I would love to go again. This was just a fun experience, and I know Steamoto even told me that this was actually kind of like a medium-sized convention, but this is probably like the most I'd ever be able to handle. Because I'm not terrible with crowds, but if you... I can only deal so much before I feel like I need to punch someone. And I don't want to do that in a crowd where there's security people who could tackle me to the ground and say, you can't do that. I'm like, oh yeah, shit, I forgot. I had to be civil in these things. Oops. But we got to play a fun game. Actually, we got to play like two really fun games. Was one was, are they playing Pokemon Go? Because Pokemon Go came out just last week, which I'm actually recording this the Tuesday after Anime Midwest actually ended. I wanted to record last night, but I was still super freaking tired, and today I'm a little bit more awake. People who do this for, like, who do conventions, like, every single weekend for a living, how the hell do you do it? I know, like, really popular cosplayers have help and have teams, but it's like, oh my god. I did a weekend, I didn't even cosplay, I just walked around, and I listened to people, and I just observed everything, and I'm exhausted. Granted, I had to travel about 3.5 hours both up and down to actually get to the convention and then go back home, but I am still very tired. I'm exhausted. I don't know how you people do it. But anyway, what was I doing? Oh yeah. So Pokemon Go came out last week, which of course, I have it. Absolutely. I have the game, and I'm really happy. Granted, I only have 4 Pokeballs right now, and actually earlier this day I had 0, which was awkward because there was a Parasect, and I couldn't get it. Son of a bitch. Anyway, so it was kind of funny to just observe people who would be walking, and then they would stop and just stare at their phone intently and just, you know, swipe up and down, and then like they would continue on. So we're kind of like, okay, they have Pokemon Go because they just found Pokemon, they're trying to catch it, they caught it, they ran away, and now they're fine. The second game we played, which was a little interesting, was, what are they here for? Are they here for the anime convention? Are they a normal person? Or are they here for the sex convention? There was an interesting second con that was going on at the same time as Anime Midwest. It was called Exotic, with 3 X's in the title. And kiddies, if you don't know what that means, don't ask your parents. In fact, ignore the fact I haven't ever said that. You have no idea what I'm talking about. Where's my... I need, like, a flash or... Kids, don't question that. Just don't ask. Just don't ask. In fact, from, like, this moment on, don't even listen to this. I'm going to be talking about this for a bit. There was a sex convention going on at the same time as Anime Midwest, and we saw some interesting people. And I'm not judging them for their lifestyles. None at all. But it was a little interesting because you'll see, like, someone who's Naruto, and then you see someone who is dressed kind of skimpily. It's kind of like, okay, well, where are they going? Is it an anime, or is it a sex convention outfit? I don't know. But that was kind of interesting to see that going on at the same time, and it wasn't terrible. I mean, like, no one was, like, exchanging harsh words. No one from the different conventions were kind of like, oh, this is so dumb, why are you doing this? It was just kind of like, okay, we're just here at the same time, whatever. We just went about our daily lives. It was cool. It's gigantic, don't care. But apparently we've been promised that next year that they will make sure that, you know, there aren't any other conventions going on when they are, because I'm sure a lot of parents are then saying, my kids didn't need to see this, which is interesting because I'm pretty sure like 1/15 of the convention population was at some point in time wearing a swimsuit. So if I was wearing a swimsuit, granted there were some people dressed for the sex convention exposition. Oh my god. Sex convention. Ooh. I really need to choose my words carefully. I'm sure there were some people who were dressed for the other convention that were dressed kind of inappropriately, and for kids, I'm sure it's kind of like, whoa, what is that? What's going on over there? So I'm sure a lot of parents were then saying, can you make sure that's not happening the same weekend that you're going on? Because that'd be great. What are you gonna do? Not much. I guess asked to not have the sex convention going on at the same time, but whatever. But like I said, I met a lot of interesting YouTubers there, and I'm going to discuss a few of them. But it was nice to see, even if it was kind of a small group, just to see a group of people to talk about YouTube with, to kind of be like, yeah, I'm frustrated, but I'm doing this for fun, and this is what I'm kind of doing. Do you want a collab or whatever? There weren't a lot of gamer YouTubers there, which I found kind of interesting, because I would think that gaming would be the first place to go. But what do I know? Because I'm not doing makeup, and there are a lot of makeup channels, so shut up, Toon Gal. What do you know? Nothing. I know absolutely nothing. Anyway, so the first person I want to start with is Murderstart, who she's an artist. I'm going to pop up some of her artwork right now. She does commission work. If you want to chat her up, there are links below in the description ways to contact her, along with her YouTube channel where she posts some of her artwork as well. She is super nice. If you ever want to just chat with her, she's just a really nice person. She'll listen to you in what you want to do. We've actually exchanged phone numbers and have just talked, and she's a really nice person. So go check out her channel. She's an amazing artist. She's done a lot of work. It's good. Go check it out. She also wanted me to talk about her fiance's group, which is called, this is really actually kind of funny. I got his YouTuber channel at the convention as well. It's so funny. His group is called The Ethnic Group, and it's really kind of funny. I love the name, and if I'm remembering correctly, it's him and two of his friends, and the way they came up with this name is he's Hispanic, one of his friends is white, and one of his friends is black, and they all just play a game together, and it's just, I love the name. That's so creative. I absolutely adore it. Here, I'll do a quick little blip of the episode he wanted me to show up right now. I'll leave a link to below in the description for their channel and for the video I'm showing right now, but I've watched some of their stuff, and they're fucking hilarious. Just hearing the banter they go off of each other is just funny. It's absolutely hilarious. It's like Game Grumps, except they're not as popular. It's fun to hear. It's really fun to hear not only people react, but also friends react to what everyone else is doing and what's happening in the game and what are they going to do to fix this? And here comes the problem. What do we do? Let's just shoot the guy. Well, I'm out of ammo. Well, it sucks to be you. Just listening to them is half of the entertainment, and the other half is watching them play a game and try and figure out what to do and to struggle. It's so funny. So please go check them out too. So it's Murderstarter, who's the artist, and The Ethnic Group, who is the group of wonderful gentlemen who play video games and try not to die. The other person I wanted to talk about, who she doesn't have a YouTube channel, and I'm thinking she's trying to get to start one up, is Grace Spice. She has a DeviantArt page. I'm gonna leave that link below in the description. She is a phenomenal artist. Just looking over what she can do and what she's done, her anatomy is just impeccable. For someone who is terrible at life drawing, she does an amazing job. So check her out. She also does commissions as well. Murderstar also does commissions. Did I tell that? I think I did. Murderstar also does commissions. So Murderstarter is just, her artwork is just so cute and it's adorable and it's animated. It's so darling. It's such a cute thing. I love her artwork because it's one of those things where it's kind of like, I go check out her DeviantArt, I'm kind of like, oh, this makes me so happy. This is so cute. It's very charming artwork, and I can't wait to see more done from her. And then for Grace Spice, it's very atomically correct, it's structured. She does very whimsical things. I love her as well. God, they're both just amazing. Actually, I'm having pieces of art were done by either one of them, so you'll be seeing those soon. I'll tell you who's who and leave links below and check them out. They're all freaking awesome. So that's my video. I feel like I'm wrapping this up kind of quickly, but I've been doing this for a while and my head is hot. I keep forgetting how hot this hat makes me. Whew. I can take that off for like 1 second. Oh my god. Thank you all for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. This has kind of been a really random one. But if you liked it, please hit that like button below. Hit that subscribe button because I would love to see more of you following me and I'd love to hear more from all of you and I'd love to hear what you have to say about my channel. Do it. Do it. Even if you're not subscribed to me, just leave me a message of some kind, some variety. I'll happily take it. Check out those people I mentioned below. Murder Starter. Gray Spice. I had to look up to make sure I'm getting these names right, because goddamn if I'm not, I'm going to be really pissed. Yeah, Murder Starter, Gray Spice, The Ethnic Group, and Ghost Traveler. Go check out those people. They are awesome. They are amazing. I have links below in the description. Go check them out. They have a YouTube channel. Go follow them. Seriously, go follow them. Keep pointing at the camera. This is like my pointer. Like the teacher. Billy! Pay attention! Ow, that actually kind of hurts. But anyway, my name is Chunga90. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one, and remember, I can't talk. Remember, stay animated, my friends. Have a good one. Goodbye.